I'm just not a nice guy. Because this is an introduction. We're going to dive more into it the next day. But introduction into law of cosines. Law of cosines works when you have side, 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 or side, angle, side. The reason why we use law of cosines instead of law of sines is when we have side, 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 we have no opposites. We have no angles opposite of a side. We cannot use law of sines. We have side, angle, side, same thing. We have no opposites. We would much prefer to use law of sines because it's shorter, quicker, easier. But when we can't, we have to use law of cosines. Well, what is law of cosines? Well, it's kind of like the Pythagorean theorem, okay? So, law of cosines is, and now lower letters are sides and Greek letters are angles. So, a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of alpha. That's for A. If you want to find B, b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine of beta. No, well, what happens is my computer screen has some dead spots, and it has issues like that. Okay? And c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine gamma. So notice how A is alone on this side, and the angle involved is A. B is alone on this side, the angle involved is B. C is alone on this side, the angle involved is C, basically. And you have A and B and A and B. A and C, A and C. B and C, B and C. All right, so law of cosines. So an example of law of cosines. If I want to find side B, because I'm given A is 6, C is 8, and B, angle B is 97.1. So I want to find side B because that's opposite here. Okay? So, law of cosines is what we're looking for a side, B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of B. Okay? So then, this is when I grab my calculator. Calculator, por favor. So, I just take and go 6 squared plus 8 squared, Mr. Bierschbach, minus 2 times 6 times 8 cosine of 97.1. Where? Oh, minus. Thank you. And I got to make sure I'm in degree mode. I'm in radian mode. That won't work. I need to be in degree mode. So then I press enter and I get 111. Do you think that side B is 111? No, that's what B squared equals 111 point yada 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 0.8657 yada yada. So then you go second, take the square root of the answer and you say please when you push the enter button. And you get 10.6. Rounded 4 decimal places, 10.5767. And then once you have this, do I have opposites? Then you just do the law of sines. The sine of 97.1 over 10.5767 equals the sine of alpha over 6. Cross multiply, solve, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. Okay? Once you figure out this angle, then you subtract from 180 to find this angle. So that's not too hard, right? Number 2 is the same way. Number 3 is angle, side. So that's law of sine. I think that's a law of sines review one because we're given 2 angles and a side. So this is just a little introduction into the law of cosines. Okay? Do you want to see one more, or are we good? Okay, so I will put out those 3 problems. It will get harder than this law of cosines, but this is just the basics of law of cosines. Okay, we're just doing some basic problems and throwing in law of sines intermixed with that, so we can keep working through this. So let me put out those 3 problems. Close. Why? You don't need to cry.
I can't even type in the boxes. Okay, and this one you have to do an extra step. And because it's like a weird triangle, I don't know.
Okay, it's out there.